Alright. Boom, bottom, 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 bottom. Bottom, 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 bottom. Alright. Ow. Frick. That hurts. Anyway. Alright. Hello. Hi, cat. Good to see you. The frickin' re. Why is that your word today? Re. Alright. We got some things to do. Alright. Is there anything left in this room? Read. Yep. Oh, I guess I haven't looked at the books. Okay. Look at all those books stacked up there. They're almost reaching the ceiling. They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty. With this volume of books in hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? No, what a dreamy idea. A bad dream, maybe, for at least. Hello. Mind you, I don't... Alright, we're gonna have to, like, shove myself over further in the corner. Yes. Natural. Yes. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. So reading is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. Hello. My turn nightmare has resurfaced. Sunday to Hurricane Terror. I know! I'm excited to have Sunday. Nothing really. We literally just started. And we're talking about our Susato and Ryunosuke are talking about books. I'm excited. Hey, would you rather have an alternate Robin outfit? You gotta pick that. I'm going on. Yes, that's your choice. I'm just saying, would you rather have an alternate Robin outfit? Pick and choose your battles, buddy. Because golly, I think you would be more angry if Robin came out with a new outfit. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, boy. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Alright, so I got that. That counts there. Can't get anything on the wall. Check the cat. Can't check the bag. You've checked all of this. Tss. Okay, then. No, she is not. Sunday is becoming a playable character. The joke I am making is that Natural has to make up his mind of would he rather have Sunday be a playable character or Robin getting a new outfit. That's the choices. Memes about Sunday's release. Oh, there's, of course. Can you even call this a window? I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now. So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? It's less insufferable. See, there you go. You answered your own question. I'm afraid I have no idea. Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on in a fit of whimsy. That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely tiring. But yes, I do love that he's still just here. Is there anything else I need to ask you? Yes, so too, to be or not to be. Okay, just when you said alternate half, it's so close to the mic. I'm sorry, I was trying to make a joke. It was supposed to be a joke. That's all. It was for emphasis on how bad that we. She's trying to get the cat light. I'm sorry for you, Leo. I'm sorry. No, it's okay, don't worry. Yeah, that was the whole point. It was to annoy Natural. That's the only reason I did it. It was to annoy him. In particular. Because he doesn't like Robin. He has Robin, but she drives him crazy. No, you can't have the teddy bear cat. You cannot. That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruto. To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question. And the answer is all too clear. How about Bo? Since he's got a bow, we'll just call him Bo. Let's leave Mr. Shlomes in peace, shall we? I guess I'm just double checking so I don't have to go all the way back here. Name it Teddy. Bo. No, spelled exactly like what he has on, like a bow tie. B-O-W. Bo. But I guess you could put Bo. B-O. Either way. How about Teddy Bo? Or Bo Teddy? Bo. Yeah, just Bo. I just lost all my belongings. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess you gotta play more to get more tickets. Bo Teddy sounds fun. His first name is Bo, his last name is Teddy. There you go. 19th of February, Mr. Garib's room. Oh, you pair again. Tell me, what was the detective chap? I forget his name. Still hard at work down there? Mr. Herlock Shlomes? Oh yes, rings a vague bell. Oh, that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. What? That is a long name, cat. Holy moly. Well, Mr. Shlomes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what... For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch where your belly well doing? Yeah, he literally said jolly good show. Not these two again? Yep. I shall be serving dinner soon. I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Pop, is that you? What the frick? He is a crescent moon. Are we okay? Regular show? Oh my gosh. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind. No, I don't think we're on regular show. Yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck at all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Shlomes, Mr. Garib is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us, at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Oh my... You guys can't see him, but I can. No, who's more of a jerk? We're at your... I have Mordecai or Rigby. I think Rigby, if it's the raccoon. By the way, want to see a certain someone? Do you see it now? If I move away? I see a certain someone over there. I think the room's too small. I think the room's too small for him. Yeah, look, there he is. He literally was right behind me. He's in the window. What is he doing over there? He's everywhere. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Shlomes. Aha, we meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious. When did you sneak in here? Hello, Shalom, sir, at your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I'm given to watch the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerfully as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Knew who it was when I saw his body bag. You mean his, I know what you mean. Why can I think of it? His satchel? Well, keeping an eye to one's window at dusk is prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Oh, and one other thing, Mr. Naruto. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Oh, no. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. It's okay. We're still... I couldn't remember. I'm like, I think it's a satchel? At least that's what I remember it being called specifically. What do you mean, Mr. Solms? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruto? I think so. There's just enough time for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Golly. Mr. Garib, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me that there are two conclusions I've been able to draw by a careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. Eh? What? Huh? Are you talking about the cannon? Is that what you're talking about? What? And the second is that as the result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. No, we cannot steal the cannon. How are we gonna get it down the stairs? Let alone, I'm curious how they got it in here. That's kind of wild. Mr. Naruto, look! The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievable, it seems Mr. Slum's conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly... How could I possibly know? You mean to acquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. With a cane or something? Crane? We're going to open the roof, grab the crane, like grab it with the crane, pull it out and then put it back. We need 2 cranes, let alone 1. And I know only too well that the wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sloanes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Great. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Nature of the beast. Okay. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on a rampage of late within these 4 walls. Yeah, the game is afoot, is what it said. Or afoot. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? It would be used by the stairs, plus elevators haven't been invented yet, even if they did, the weight would be much. Yeah? Ah, for a man with a military breed, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garib, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Huh? I don't think he has a lion in here. I think we would have seen the lion by now. Ah, yes, though a military man, you appear unimposed at best. A fact that has fueled your excuse me. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you have tried to keep in this very house. What? He has a Did you guys see that? He got smacked on the face. He has a handprint imprinted on the other half of his face. Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. Is he having an affair with the maid? Is that what this is? Did his wife get mad at him? Did his wife get mad at him because he was having an affair with the maid and caused havoc and then smacked him in the face? Is that what that is? The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. I don't think anyone's hand is that small, though. It's a handprint, that's for sure, though. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, as it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertised as a circus show. Huh. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garib? At Patty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I've observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I've made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. No. A simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. A rampaging Asiatic lion. Topic 2, Aftermath. Okay. Now, Mr. Garib, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, it is that blithely pose that the distress this loss has caused you is irreparably tangible. And the maid had an affair? That's my guess. You just noticed that? You just noticed that he's drinking tea and smoking? To our case. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Well, if they didn't look at the road, maybe that's the reason why they didn't look outside. Isn't that normal? You can smoke and drink at the same time. That doesn't sound like a great idea. No, you should not. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders, the pain you feel from being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man. I simply... But what? We must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Ah. 4 cartonloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Ugh. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? I'm assuming the candle fell and burned some of the rug. This time, madam, I'm afraid it's you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the tower of cakes. Yeah, the cake set it on fire. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh, that's how that works. There is no creature more dangerous on earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. I would be silent too. Yeah. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman that if they have no bread, let them eat cake? That same noblewoman has no head anymore. She has no head. Let this man shine. Yeah. Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. Yeah, that is exactly what happened to Lady Antoinette. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. Teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. What frickin' lion have you met? What lion? His teeth are like that. Yeah. Lady Marie Antoinette. Yep. Conclusion. Carpet gnawed on by the starving lion. That's his hypothesis, but I don't think that's true. Thus concludes Herlock Sholom's great deduction of this beastly puzzle. One that clearly understands finances, apparently. I guess. Why would you pour more tea? What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me. Is poor Moon Man guilty of something? He's hiding something. We don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Grebe. I'm afraid I didn't notice. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It's stand to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too. It can make me laugh, if that's what you mean. Yes, it does. Oh. Mr. Sholom, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruto. What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could fit inside a room of this size? Even a baby lion would have issues in here. It's tiny. Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. No. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. Yeah, but in this instance, it don't frickin' fit. Like, literally. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? Do this much damage. And is already a cannon. Why not a lion? He's gonna be able to fit a lion in here? Safely? Munch the carpet. No, I think the carpet caught on fire from a candle. But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garib and this maid would have been hurt, or worse. Which is true. If this lion, even if it was a cub, someone would be hurt, and they're not hurt. You could fit an elephant in here. Yeah, but the damage is not shown of a lion. Oh, that's where you're stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. Oh my gosh, the cannon. Oh, the cannon. We finally bring the cannon into the equation. We fit a bus in a courtroom. Yeah, but who knows? I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. A well-trained lion that went crazy? Like, if it ate the carpet, it's not well-trained. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. I don't think that would end well. There would be a giant hole in the wall. That's where, the maid puts her other... That's where she dries her uniforms. Apparently. That's where she hangs the laundry. Some of the laundry, anyway. Ah, my dear Miss Sosado, it occurs to me with some regularity. She's called Cannonja. Cats need to claw, so no matter where, there's problems. Okay. The irrespective of race and breeding, whenever one lands on Great British soil, they're infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. You're telling me that for some reason the lion landed on Britain and was like, oh, I want tea. Oh, what a glorious notion. My gosh. Well then, Mr. Naruto, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, but in this instance, I don't think he has enough money to have a lion. Apparently he has a ton of bills, so why would he be able to buy a lion? A slight massage, that's all Mr. Shlom's deductions need. You can do it. Excellent, I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruto. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. It does mean it is domesticated. It doesn't. Okay, I was gonna say, golly. Never knew lions could be so sophisticated. Yeah, that would be something weird. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile. Whatever the motivation. At least that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning. Oh, my favorite. Are those things still around? Yeah, there are people who have pet rocks. I think some people decorate pet rocks. I've heard Shalom's logic and reasoning spectacular. The top hat before. I don't know how they kept that on, the cat. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Shlomes. Alright, let's fix this mess. Alright. Take protected to see, blah blah blah. Beast has been on the rampage within these 4 walls. Thus we face with the question, what form might this beast take? For a man with a military breed, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your glance leads us directly to the answer. Alright. The form of his wife, 100%. My gosh. I really didn't see the line thing coming. Oh, excuse me. I gotta move. Susato. Let me get here. No, but if you observe Mr. Karib's reactions, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yeah, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? You must follow Mr. Karib's gaze. It's like I'm right there. Yes, I am. I'm in here as well. That will lead us to the true answer. Can I move? Okay, I was like, can I move? Oh! What the frick? Fierce nature, but not a lion. Yeah, that's his wife. Yeah, that's what that's my guess.
Take that!
Photo frame. Behind the lion statue on the mantelpiece, almost deliberately hidden from view, is a photograph. Though I've yet to examine it in detail, I can assure you that it holds the answer. Because I'm employed an extremely advanced detection technique called jumping to conclusions, you see. That deduction was wanting in every way. Yes, I was wanting you to hear it. I'm quite proud of it. I find myself wanting never to hear of it, have heard of it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact. Oh, sorry, I'll try again. I thought it would be it. Structure is imperatively looked in the direction of something that gives its identity away. Yes, if we investigate thoroughly enough, we ought to find the answer. Okay. I don't know. I do find it's his wife, though. That looks to be... It looks like... I'm more surprised that it's not the photograph. Like, so this is the only thing... Because I can't go up. And I can't... click the metal. Are you gonna tell me it's this?
Take that!
No, that's not it either. It's canon. I can't turn that far. That's the thing. I can only find two objects. You should save. I saved at the beginning of the thing, so I'm fine. I'll just have to speed through, but I did save. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, can I... Like, I can only move in two directions. And it's not the frame. I'm surprised it's not this. Like, what? Because there's nothing over here. If there's nothing there, this doesn't count. It's not that. It's not this. What? Like, I can't go down. Like, this is all I have. There's nothing. Except for these three. Try the statue?
Take that!
Nope. Nope, it's not it either. What the frick? What is it supposed to be then? Chopped liver? I don't get it. Yeah, I'm like, what is it? What is it supposed to be? No, I can't zoom out any further. That's... Excuse me, the weird part. Guess we'll go with this. Will it give me... There's no elephant! Let me see, blah, blah, blah. Because I do not know. Huh? Blah, blah, blah. Text. It's gotta be, right? Gotta be a picture, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't yell. Zoom her back, right exam place, right for now, look at the right. Oh. Okay. Can I even... Okay. So the photo is correct. I just have to examine the photo? Alright. Lou. Please stop. Golly. What is this? Do I even want to know? I don't think I want to know. We're just gonna do this and move on. Anyway, so I am correct. I guess. Well, because Pole's not here. He won't yell at me again, my gosh. It's freaking weird. I don't know. Alright. I can't believe that me and Sasato are around the same, like, height. Okay. Mate. Okay, I can space to examine. Okay. Oh, no. Oh. What? It's because of the reason they put the message. It's been deleted. Because I told you it was his wife. And if you mean by that by Paul's not here, it's because Dylan said that it's starved for attention. So I connected the dots. What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Garib's wedding. Married a lion. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. One of my previous questions? Golly. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face. Could hide the woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruto. Yeah, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. And not someone you'd want to upset, that's for sure. Oh look, have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. Looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. Okay, there we go. It's supposed to be... So, I was correct, you just had to be more specific. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Oh my gosh. Precisely, Mr. Naruto. No other explanation could possibly fit. You're the one who thought it was a lion. Yes, this framed picture. Print picture, your wife, Mr. Garib. Picture's your wife, Mr. Garib. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh, Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be a stretch. Might be stretching a point. Too late, the fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garib. Wow, it's right over his eye, too. Oh. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? To the D. Yeah, I told you that... Well, besides you making the pun, I did say last time that I believed it was his wife. That the maid was his wife. You could just guess the way that he calls her Joan. Where could this angry... Oh, did I say that? Yet as we look around, the basic which fails to present itself, where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain... Okay, blah blah in your direction. It is. Poor fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, you're calling her defenseless and fragile. Oh yeah, I should move. Should I move chat? I think chat's fine right now. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Slomes is quite right. There's no sign of Mrs. Garib anywhere. It's a metaphor, but it seems that there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garib's wife could be. Alright, let me... shimmy. Can I... Yep, there it is. Wow, yep, I hit it right on the money. Look at me. She's wearing a very large ring, look. I wonder why. Why would they hide that they're married? Is it because of a different class system? Is that what's going on? Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. Reading when... Chat. Do you guys still want me to do it? That's the thing, I haven't forgotten. I just didn't know if chat still wanted me to do so. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. Looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naruto, not to say. And I know the new episode is good. I have seen the new episode. I just don't know if Chad is still interested in that, because I'm assuming everyone's watched it at this point. Do you know Mr. Garib's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. Do it at the end of the stream. That's what I was thinking about. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? I haven't. Okay, then yes, we will watch it at the end of the stream. How's that sound? And I mean it.
Take that!
Wedding ring. Think about Kingler after episode 3. Oh, I didn't mind Kingler. I think he becomes a really great character. Holy. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Huh. Indeed it does. The flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. And there would be refreshments. Well, someone's trying to give compliments here. But yeah, hello. It's okay. We're just... Point is, I was correct. The maid is Mr. Gareeb's wife. I was correct. I predicted it. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Gareeb's bride in this photographic print. Which reminds me, how old is his wife? We don't know how old she is. He's 46. How old is she? She does not look like she is that old, which in this picture seems like weird. Yes, the maid is the wife. Look at the picture. What do you mean? I'm going to question it. Look how old she looks in this picture. Golly. And he looks a little bit younger than he does currently. Yeah, it still doesn't mean I think it's still weird. In other words, you're no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Gareeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gareeb's herself. Oh my word! But why dress up as a maid? Why is she the maid? Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. The case with 4 men who fell in love. 4? Wasn't the one gymnast guy the same age as the one? I know about 2. Who's the 4th one? For a maid, so she poses as one? Maybe. Images. No, he was way older. Was he? His younger brother was around the same age. At least I thought so. Like the gymnast. Because there was a... To go back to the case. No, we do not have to go back to that case. Even then you were surprised. I guess maybe I'm... Maybe just because I feel bad for the poor guy being in a coma. That I kind of forgot his age. Yes, you rightly surmised. This is my wife, yes. My Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a ball corkback. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. But then your little brother was nearing his 30s. Wow. Yeah, nope. Nope. But who's still the 4th one, then? If we include him in this weird thing, you say that there was 4. Who is the 4th one? Because you have the gymnast, you have the magician, and you have the ventriloquist. Who's the 4th one? I would assume, therefore, that you have inefficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? Is that a right, I tell you? I said the puppet man. Oh, the puppet, like the literal puppet. I kind of don't think of the puppet as a separate thing, but I guess that makes sense, wouldn't it? I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it is a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household can't be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. It controls its owner, it has a separate personality. I think it's just his head. I think it's literally the puppet, the ventriloquist's own mind talking to himself. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearance are a folly. You mean Mr. Gareeb has his wife work as a maid? As his maid? Precisely, am I right, Mr. Gareeb? Only in company, obviously. But listen here, this must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. Motar shells is what it said it was. But yes, the raging wife of Mr. Garib. But why was she angry? That's the next question, because if there's no affair, then what happened? No, okay, blah, blah, blah. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Well, I would assume so. She's still here. I would hope he would still have feelings for his wife. I still feel weirded out by the age gap, but we're not getting into this right now. Never saw the aftermath of the case, so we don't know if some of the other members of the show got... I'm assuming no. Was cheating with Canon-chan. Case was her father. I don't know. I think Mo, the clown that became the ringmaster, is keeping everything under control. I would hope so. Mr. Slums is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garib's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. Supervision aside from Mo. Yeah, well, Mo is the ringmaster. But yeah, I don't think she has other supervision, from my understanding. But, Mrs. Garib is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps the supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. In front of her husband is wild. Yep. Baroni, it's kind of why it's just ridiculous. Really hoping I am assuming nothing has happened. I'm assuming Mo is taking care of her and teaching her how to understand the frickin' law and everyone else to go away and go elsewhere. According to Mr. Sloane's, Mr. Garib's plan is tangible. Pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? That he has... Oh, I guess I should go right here. Because I'm gonna turn... Look at how big of a freaking slap. She slapped him hard. It's even on his eye. Oh my, look at that bright red mark. Gosh, that's quite something. Clearly made by somebody's hand. Yes, Mr. Grib has been slapped on the face, it seems hard. Like, look, it's right on his eye. I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. His wife. Very small when we first saw it, but yeah, it's freaking giant. That's why I said, what do you mean a child? Look how giant the smack was. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madame Joan Garib. Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheek, sir. Well, it's definitely something you can't miss. Oh, the blazes. How did you work that out, man? At this point, you say it's a birthmarker. When somebody asks, yeah. Nothing escapes the notice of one trend in the arts of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? He must have done something. Is he a gambler? Is his wife upset at him for gambling? Doing something? Something has happened. In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garib to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Oh, to find that answer, yes, it's the pile of bills that have given rise to your suffering. Which it isn't, so we have to figure out what it is. Is his wife a maid? So that they can keep up appearances of a big household? It's to look like they have more money than they actually do. So in society, they look like they're of higher class. Didn't Mr. Sloan say the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garib's wife. Mr. Naruto, she's a person, not a thing. Even big household, decent household in this time. Yeah. Did they afford the wedding? I don't know. That's the thing. I have no idea. You're asking a question that I would not know the answer to. And obviously, Mrs. Garib looks a lot older than she does in the photo of their marriage. So I'm assuming he was still an active lieutenant during the time, so they had income. Now that he's retired, he doesn't really have a constant stream of income. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? He's apparently 46. He got injured in battle. That's the thing. He got injured in combat. That's why he has a cane. He couldn't... Something happened, and he got injured. I'd love to know the answer to that question. Someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Grape is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. From her injury, oh, okay. Oh, no, it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh my gosh, did I actually predict that it was an affair? I predicted the affair too. Wow, I'm on top of it today. Holy moly. I can't believe that can't be. Did I get it correct? And look next to the signature here. Lips marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Susato-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then.
Take that!
What? That I might be right? Let's keep a canon white sheet. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, it is the love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh boy. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note. Oh, oh my gosh, look at that face. Someone's quivering in his boots and someone's, not too happy. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. Oh, I don't know the Bali woman. Yeah, you don't know her? Okay, let me see. No, that's not Z. I want to look at, what is his first name? John. Hello, 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 hello. So his name's John, though. It's not James. So who the heck is James? If he... So did someone accidentally leave the note in there? By accident? Because I don't think we have met a James. Currently. It's an... yeah. That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. Because it says James. Like, if I'm double checking, yeah, it says, "Oh, James." We met along the way. Haha. Maybe, who knows? It was just in there, you say? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Ugh. A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at the second-hand place, and that note must have already been in there. I can kind of believe that. How long ago did he buy this book? I guess is the question. How long ago? Because if he just bought it that yesterday, it would make sense. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Oh! Yeah, he isn't named James at all. His name is John. It'd be weird to call someone James when his name is John. It's not even a nickname. A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman. Look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. Oh! And Ace Attorney for once. Well, technically they're happy. It was a misunderstanding. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? And there you have it. Arose the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleashed a beast with a ferocious bite. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? It's possible, but at the same time, if it's a secondhand book, like if he can prove it, that it's a secondhand book and he got it recently, it would make sense. And this goes to show even a lieutenant has no match against his wife. Yep. A very expensive carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, I'm afraid it's you, as inadvertently revealed the truth to me, blah blah blah. The wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. It is not the cake, it is the candles. Oh, and I gotta move again. I settle. But surely Mrs. Grieve didn't eat the carpet. I can now see you in 4K-ish. Oh, well, that's cool. You keep a cannon, shells, and pretends to be your maid to give appearances isn't logical. Well, most people aren't logical when they cheat anyway, but I'm assuming he is not cheating. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So, this is the last part of Mr. Sloane's seduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Grieve's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. She fumbled the bag. Golly. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. Being able to get a wife isn't logical. Wow. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, and according to Mr. Sloane's seduction, the tears match those made by little Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh yes, you can. To be sure, golly. I have no wife nor girlfriend. Golly. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the more normal sense at all. Let's rethink this with that in mind. Do I have to click this? This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me Like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder? I hope it won't let me...
Take that!
Okay. Why she's mad? No! That's not what happened at all! Where are you getting that from? Golly. Yes, to explain the dire state of a carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Table and pull it out for... What? Most illuminated, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed, they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Greaves' mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder. By the way, were they too cheap to buy a third candle? No, they have a third candle. They just... it's old, and it was unstable, so, you know. And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in this world, it is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you can see there is not but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marriage spew flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Oh, he puts that down. Oh. Mr. Sloan, sir, I salute you. Oh, no, don't. Oh! She's strong. Carpet scorched by a small fire. Joan is strong. Deduction complete. Elementary. Elementary, my dear Iris. It's these long winter nights, you know? Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. She's got some frickin'... She is strong. Well, I don't know why he married her. Yeah, she is strong. Golly, man. She is strong. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discover some rather illicit material. They made Watson into a pink-haired little girl. Yes, her name is Iris. Which your wife astonished you harshly. It seems. Yeah, they're not. They had a fight. That's all I could tell you. They had a fight, so things are a little messy. Don't know about abolished. Abolished might be rather demolished is rather close to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt... Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by a fire when a candle fell on the floor? Fair to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye. You know, the whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. Your wife is right there. You're going to have a permanent mark on your face if you keep it up. You painted a horrid picture, sir, one that would have been most entertaining. I'm like, that's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The Bali furniture started going up as well. We had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Kareeb? He's going to get a crater on his face. Yep. Marcus from a week ago. He can't keep his mouth. I guess not. And what if the mark doesn't fade? She keeps hitting precisely on the same exact spot. Means she's got good aim. Maybe she should be an archer. She can friggin' hit the mark. Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. How bad did it... Oh, wow, it hit... Wow, it really did burn pretty well. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh. Up in smoke. Maybe she should have gone to the front. I don't know, I think it's his right side is closer to her, so that's where she hits. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me. It sounded she could slap a pigeon on the other side of London. Yeah. Yeah, at this point I think John is a Saiyan. I don't know about that, but what a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. If a fire gets on fire, it's unlikely that it can be put out without significant water damage or extinguisher residue. Well, this is back then, so I'm assuming that it used water. Wait, didn't you know Saiyans are only like strong women? Yeah, yeah. I guess he would fit that. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite, a book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats comes through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as the result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Sloan's deductions turned out to be correct once again. Slightly correct, but off the mark. It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage, flames everywhere, and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? I'm not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think. We make it precise. Yep. So at the exact same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of lighting could have been flattened outside my window at that point. And I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing. Well, yeah, he was being attacked on all sides here, one with fire and one from the wife. Oh, really? Just silence. Mr. Slomes. Yes, Mr. Naruto, what can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Reeves' situation now. I don't think something is grounded. I just got zapped on my phone. What the frick? Be careful. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? What? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be relevant or not. What? Oh my god. Really? That's what you're going? Why that joke now? Why that one? I just knew you were going to say that. Ha 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 ha. Now, Mr. Naruto, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories: those relevant to the case and those not. Why not? Because, yes, I said that water is probably what they use, but why is that why is that the thing that you use? That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind, Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is it the time already? If we were to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we'd have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garib. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us. And I'm going to have to give him an answer. February 19th, Briar Road. It's time, Mr. Naruto. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's have a What? Oh. What's the matter? Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garib's house. Wouldn't want to get burned again because I'm distracted. Well, yeah, be careful. We don't need another freaking Mr. Garib situation. What's happening in front of the house? We just left. Who the frick are you? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling old man, you rum-looking nimmy-piminy? That you've graced us with your presence on the king. Golly. Well, anyone could say that, but I could see if Whis could say that, Beerus could say that, anything could happen. There are more things in heaven and earth, Haruto, than I dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Haruto fella, huh? What are you on about? What the frick is happening? Excuse me. Eh? What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it's just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryanosuke Naruto, is a lawyer, you see. Eh? A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a blooming nun to you? What the frick is happening? I hate that face. That is a scary face. And the blinking makes it worse. I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you. What was all that about? Everyone has different sayings to Zeno. Huh. Okay. There are more things in heaven and earth, Haruto. There are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Haruto either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garib residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yeah, I do dwell in this humble abode. The angels directly call him Grand Zeno. Yeah, that does. It's like I said, I've gotten to the point where Hit and Goku are fighting. So I haven't heard Grand Zeno in a while. Or Zenny. Mr. Grave mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Yeah, not yet. Getting there. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Natsume? Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be.
I feel like I'm dealing... What the frick are you saying? It's only allowed to be called Zenny by Goku alone. Yes, he is. But I also exist outside of their plane of existence, so I can say Zenny. But yeah, I feel like I'm talking to Shakespeare. Sorry, battle, did you say?
Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
He is a English literature buff, I assume. I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances, at least. So, fair maiden, so good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well.
I don't know.
I don't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
Seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. I wouldn't say that. I'll call him Theodore. I guess until we know his name. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Grieve house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. He's pretending to be one. Yep. Anyway,
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. "19th of February, 6:31 p.m. Local prison, cell 9. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Welcome, student Mr. Naruto, Esquire. I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched!
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nipponese. Oh no, let's not get carried away. I don't know who says this. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is their friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Hi, you followed us. Have you been following us this entire time, Shlomes? I have many questions.
Wow, it's you!
Yes, it's him, the one who got you, put in prison. How's this gonna happen? How's this gonna work out? Is this gonna work out well, or is this gonna work out... I swear he has a key for any room. Probably. I wouldn't be shocked. Would you? He's got a giant bag, so anything's possible. He could be a frickin' time traveler, for all we know. The miserable, rotten spy! Herlock Shlomes! Mr. Shlomes, what are you doing here?
I have no intention of doing anything, per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Shlomes? Well, having encountered some
Curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodations here offer a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. But I prefer the original Holmes better, not gonna lie. I think everyone would probably prefer the original Sherlock Holmes, but I think imagine original Sherlock Holmes and Herlock talking to each other. This would be very funny to watch. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been delighted and cost me not a penny.
Ugh, you! How dare you! Herlock Sholmes!
Ugh. It would be one heck of a scene. It would be known for the ages.
I've had it, I'm through, I'm at the end of my rope.
I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well.
My whole life is...
Be damned. I think that's what it is.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. Like Holmes better because of his skills that surpass Sloane's.
Yeah, makes sense.
What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. Description particularly of what? For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Cursed trial. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? Remember everything to a T and can notice the slightest bit of change. Yeah. About the trial tomorrow being cursed.
Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That really agitated him.
You told me the trial really is cursed somehow?
Not that I know of. Well, I guess... I guess there is one thing that would actually cause him to have an issue. Oh, why isn't he in here? I wanted to make the joke. Van Zeeks is gonna be there. Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean?
Yeah, Van Zeeks, the Reaper of the Bailey. You know, the guy from last time, the one drinking wine, the one you think is a vampire?
Please tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 silent words.
Yeah, I think everyone pretty much has grown to just appreciate Slums being here. He is a vampire. He hasn't said it outright, so we don't know for a fact. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Besides the fact of the wife and stuff, not really. His clothes are great. They are. They are fantastic. Oh my goodness, can it really be true that was 16 words exactly?
Yesterday, Mr. Naruto successfully defended someone against the Reaper, but then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGuiled. What? What? I'm impressed, Mrs. Sasato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sloanes, surely it can't be that, having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself.
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
Well, I don't think it's impossible, but I think that would be very weird for him to do. Especially in the exact thing that he uses for evidence. Like, that's such a weird thing to do. Why would he do that? Oh yeah, we did conclude that the couple were too busy arguing to notice arguing and dealing with the fire to notice what was going on with the one lady. Case was yesterday in universe? Yeah. It was yesterday in universe. Kind of wild. No, I did not. I chipped my nail, so I was fixing it. Still technically kind of chipped. I'll fix it. The witness testimony is invalid, I guess. Yeah, it's only been a day in universe. Literally yesterday in game was Mr. McGuild's trial and how he died in a fire. Literally. Ho 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 ho. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? Yeah, it's very annoying, so I paused so I didn't have to be dealing with it. So technically the witness testimony is so invalid. My gosh.
The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper.
Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man, however, in London's court of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
I don't remember the Wright family ever did. Yeah, that is true.
So that's good.
So Zeki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letters of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense.
Yeah. Well, Phoenix he's been accused of murder before. Remember, he's been accused twice? It's either once or twice. One was his own freaking mentor. Just like our good old friend Ryunosuke.
It is an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view.
Oh, and also that his friend gets kidnapped or accused of murder, so he has to defend her.
However, public opinion is, in particular, somewhat easily manipulated.
Right.
Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contrived evidence, calling impostors as witness, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly it is, from time to time, my dear madam, it is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's alright?
However, those indicated by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. The fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Through the adjudication,
may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they all disappeared. It's most striking.
Disappeared? But how?
Oh, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drowned. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
I remember the jury has a face now. Yeah, they all have faces. We have a peanut gallery, which is the stuff that you see in the regular Ace Attorney games. Yeah, maybe don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, no, no, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruto.
Yeah. This is going swimmingly.
I knew it. I'm
A dead, Dodo, done for, doomed! Cursed lodgings. When you said a cursed lodgings before, were you referring to your room at Mr. Garib's house, I assume? Well, he has at least not slept for 2 days. Which is still a lot. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a neat year now since I came to Great Britain. But I've only been in London a week before I started to know strange feelings of myself. That didn't take long yet, then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. When I was
Yeah, but for this guy who's stressed all the time, that's a lot.
I was sure people were talking about me. I started becoming nervous and going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. Golly. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You're probably right, Lou. You're probably close.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I think it was 4 or 5 days. It was bad. Golly.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money and appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simmered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistakes, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you had something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place." Back in the day.
Yeah. I don't remember since my friends had knocked me out by force. Yeah, makes sense. Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed, then?
Ever since I moved in that windowless heck hole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I've been being choked to death. And in my waking hours, my people are stabbing in front of me as I walk down the street. It was effective.
My gosh. Well, of course not.
And did a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all?
To believe. Yes, to believe. To believe.
Mr. Slomes? Ah, me, Mr. Naruto? Hey, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Bureau, if you recall.
The Bureau? The Bureau. Ah, that case. The one with the snake?
To believe or not to believe, that is the question. Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me?
I see, yes, you mean. Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room?
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
He had faith. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you might have misunderstood. I neither recalled believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What? What do you mean, Mr. Slomes?
To say it was funny, be interesting. That sounds like something he would say.
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
Ha 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 ha. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. He's right. Locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself.
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You were so right, Kazuma. Oh, it's been a while since we saw Kazuma.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time we are leaving, I believe.
Ready?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant in here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there?
Oh. Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Finally! Oh. Locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something critical. Something critical? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruto.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it is imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me, in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruto, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. How does the old man being married is critical in the case? They didn't see it, so unless there might be more. We don't know. It might connect to the one guy upstairs on the main floor. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Sasato.
Yes?
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Are those two still witnesses? I don't know. I don't think they would. I'm assuming they'll be relevant at some point.
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Thank you, Susato. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Cosmo believed in me, and Mr. Shlomes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. So Seki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. To be continued, I'm assuming. Yep. Right now. Yay! We're doing good. Boop. It is interesting. 20th of February, 9:23 a.m. Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying this game. I am too. I'm curious where this all goes. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Good morning. Man is not even graduated. Yeah. Mr. Natsume, good morning. Yeah, I feel sorry. We better stay strong out after this case. He's who matters to me in this game. Do you mean only person? Well, probably. He's probably gonna give me another case.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
I was wondering. His eyes looked different, but I couldn't tell.
The early bird catches the worm, as they say in Britain.
Yes, I heard that expression.
I really don't want to catch a worm.
But I really don't want to catch a worm, so I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm actually absolutely exhausted as a result. Do literary people take things so literally? Yes.
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Yeah, he is exhausted all the time. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Yes?
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Do you know why that might be, Miss Sasato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruto, but I have no idea.
I'm going to assume the person that was stabbed is someone famous. Or someone of high class. What if it's the frickin' random bird lady from the first trial? I will laugh my butt off if it is. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Sato? I'm assuming it was just some lady. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, it would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Be the lady from the first case.
It's all connected together. I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one.
Okay, so it's Lord Van Zeeks is the only reason. Okay. I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
I hope it's actually her now. It would be interesting. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGild. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we couldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder?
Well, he's still got that famous record. Yeah, we broke the record, but he still has it, so, you know, he's still a big deal. You know?
That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers.
How old is he? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. Like, he's not in my... He's not in here. I guess we'll see once we get into court. Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire. It's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both time it's you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. I didn't know him until yesterday. Please, I don't rub shoulders with death bringers.
I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruto, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that. Yeah, very helpful, Susato. Well, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? You had no other options, buddy. By the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Is it true that I'm just a student, new to London with a little way of experience or skills or luck? But I promise you this. Yes, it does, Forge character. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. I have no freaking idea. Susano's 16, we're in college, so... 20s? Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire.
You're not alone here. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be by your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikatoba Esquires. I'm in your debt. Forever, I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes. This is it. What? My second appearance in a British courtroom. In my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. So what, is that 10 years? Yeah, they're 10 years apart. I knew he was in his 20s, because he's in college of some degree. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Uh, 20th of February, 10 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Is back at school or something? Yeah. Something like that. Oh look, new people on the jury.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
Defense is ready, my lord. Oh look, it's Vampire Man. Everyone's favorite.
Nipponese are truly fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur.
It acts like a vampire. I think that's on purpose. Do you have a point?
Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
It would have been to explain that he died to his professors when he got back home. I don't even want to imagine.
Susato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Oh, you're gonna rub salt in the wound, aren't you, Sato?
Very true, and most fascinating, if dark, child it was too.
Can I charge someone in court for being a vampire? I don't know if that's in there. I know that back then there was a witch trials, but that's different.
The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end.
Wow, that ain't weird at all.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as the impartial members of the public?
Yep, it's a new jury. Oh my gosh, look who it is! It's from the second case. It's Mr. whatever his name is.
You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
I must warn you, I'm rather ruthless than I appear.
Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. They changed the last one so there wouldn't be any biases for the next cases. Probably. Hi, you! Mrs. Oh, she's 38. 49, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So they're 8 years apart. Yeah, Mr. Garib's wife's here too. Wow.
I'm afraid I think it's quite possible that mustache foreigner did the deed.
Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, everyone's just here apparently.
Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statements, if you please, Lord Venzix.
Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a student, Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes.
I have no idea. Why does the last jury member always have to be a senior citizen? I don't know.
Regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who has done nothing but walking down the street.
Knife crime, I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are.
Just look at those sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Wow, this court is not impartial. We have someone who has been literally in an incident related to a knife. We have her saying this. Come on, let's get this over with me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, you think? Looks familiar. Are you being sarcastic, Lou, or are you being serious? Asking that question.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
It's Grayson, I'm assuming. Yep. He's from the last case. Remember, he was one of the people on top of the omnibus? If you remember, he was the guy that owed Mr. McGuile some debt.
Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
Yeah, that's why I looked at him like, it's you! Yeah, he was on there with the Hatter on top of the omnibus. So yeah. So now that we're all up to speed, it makes sense now, doesn't it? Why I looked at him and go, what? Why is he here?
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector?
Victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be.
Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now. She's been comatose ever since.
What? So they don't even know who she is for sure?
Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger?
Solomon might learn what the heck are you doing here? Yep.
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement, running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not been long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals.
Wait, how old? So, 20-something. Yeah, 32. And he's 20-something, and he's 33. I'm gonna be like, why would he know her? Why would he? I just have questions of why he would do that in the first place. What motive could they possibly think of for this? I have two. I have 2 pieces of evidence, that's it.
Being unconscious as she is, we've been able to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far.
I like her as being just 10 among all those adult characters. Yep. I don't think he looks familiar to anyone. Oh. Case file obtaining overview case. She was found with a knife in her back and is currently in hospital yet to regain consciousness. Golly.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
Okay, there we go. It's fish and chips, dude. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, he is the one who eats fish and chips.
What of the weapon that was used?
Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Why is it closed? A young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound in the back. Olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Location pavement of Briar Road, east side. Reporting officer Royley Beat. Additional, the victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Yeah, it's like, why? Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
Large but commonplace folding knife. It was found lodged in the victim's back.
Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what I can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she was a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord.
Oh, this case would have been so overrated. Fingerprints were a thing. Yeah, but obviously this is during the time of learning to use printed photographs.
I see. Well, in that case, we're looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim. Afraid I can't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much.
Yeah, it's like, what could they possibly pin on this man? He barely goes out. He doesn't have any friends. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. He does not know this woman.
And at this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Oh, we're back to frightful Ryunosuke. If theft and grievance have been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrest the man in spite of that, in a total unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection.
Oh boy, here we go. What the He just threw away the whole bottle! Oh my gosh, I would hope not. The more you say, the sadder his life sounds. It is! But at the same point, he is not stealing. He's not the person who stabbed this woman.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery.
That's dangerous. What the frick is he doing?
But your words have soured his hallowed banquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
He has way too many bottles of wine. What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Grayson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Yes, sir.
Witness testimony. Mr. Natsume's arrest.
As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him.
We had the caffeine to the present. Now, in the past, we have... Yeah. I guess so. I guess so.
Oh, the books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident.
Oh, look, the poor lady. I'm sorry, this poor lady. Wow.
Oh, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring.
She just fell over like a sack of potatoes.
I will take that photograph for print as evidence, please, Inspector.
Photograph of the scene taken by a policeman just after the incident occurred. A large knife can be seen thrusted into the victim's back. Yeah, right in the middle.
You Nippon-Genies are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat.
I think you're projecting, Von Zeeks. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well,
Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Miss Sato?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruto?
Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. Yes, I guess she is. So I was walking along the cursed pavement. I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed out into the cold, hard slabs of stone onto my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my cursed lodgings.
Green overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing.
Oh my! A photographic print in full color! What will the world come up with next?
Moving pictures. And a TV. The defendant had done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there was nobody else who could have possibly have stabbed the woman.
How do we know this? I know that the policeman heard screaming and he saw someone running away. But the point is, there's still a possibility. Also, and this may just be me, because I looked at the thing. Why is there no blood, though? That is a good question, but she is unconscious in the hospital, so obviously something's going on. I do have one thing. Why is around the woman... Why is she not laying in snow? Because there's snow piled up super high over here. Look at how high the snow is piled up. Why is she laying in the only area that's not covered in snow? I find that suspicious.
A fact that the accused concedes.
Ugh. That's all. I'm very curious about that, if it'll be brought up.
It seems this cross-examination can prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please.
Maybe the policeman had something to do with it. Or the sidewalk was cleared so she walked through there? But it looks like it's just around her. That's the weird part. There's no footprints or anything. But yeah, it would be kind of weird otherwise. Yes, my lord, nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. To the sides, at least. Maybe? But look. Look how it is. Since the road is going, like, this way, and you can see the snow is right here. So, it's right in a weird... Like, it looks like it's been shoveled around her. Because you got stuff here, 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 and the tile is going this way? So either she's going this way, but the assumption is she was going this way. So it's very weird. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Mr. Natsume's arrest.
As I said, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. Oh, not present. I wanted to... Q.
Hold it!
Okay. A light fog, you say?
Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much further, though.
Yeah, it's like she fell in the only cleared part. Yeah. which would hurt 10 times more than falling in snow. That light, is it? That's light, isn't it?
Around these parts, yes, not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course.
I've read that London is famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
So quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize as I can expect you can appreciate.
Well, I don't think a lot of people living in their own country appreciate some of the simpler things that happen in their own country. It's someone on the outside that can appreciate it. I see.
At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy.
I think it was a mistake from the artist, not gonna lie. We don't know. We'll see. We will see. If it comes up as important.
Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by the horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused.
There was no one else but the victim and the accused.
Hold it!
How were you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to the crime have told us.
Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? So there's multiple witnesses, as in the policeman and his wife.
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
This noise. Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights.
Ah.
The prosecution believes that there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
I wouldn't say that. You would be able to see in the darkness. I wouldn't say conquer darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
Seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
The victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. Yeah, I'm gonna say very cocky about the whole thing. From behind, you say?
That right? As you can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of this weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition. Comatose, no less. I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's been treated at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come around before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. Would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
And bad yet, so the darkness was still not conquered.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
I don't know, it's kind of weird. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Ugh. Ran off scattering his belongings all over the floor.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings,
I think you'll find it all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, there's 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course.
The accused could have easily have carried all 3 books in one hand, which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example.
Holding 3 books with one hand. That sounds difficult. What the frick?
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsumi had his hands full with his books. He managed to close that one avenue of escape he might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must have been what happened, my lord, yes.
That'd be such a weird thing to do, though. Why would you do that?
Books he bought.
Hold it!
What the fuck? The defendant apparently visited a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid.
Okay, the incident happened at Briar... Okay. So it happened, like, right here. His house is here. His apartment is here. So this happened around here. And then it's up here on the back part of the road. Huh.
The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodging in this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mersham Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this.
Well, that's an assumption. Unless he didn't go to Bourbon Books.
Yes, I concur with your conclusions, Inspector.
I want to see something. Second-hand book receipt. Your Books. So it's a different bookstore. Your Books, 17th of February, 4:45 p.m. So he went to a different bookstore.
The defendant would have certainly passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruto, I think that's what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes. Could be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic? Yeah, it's like he's becoming more confident. Slowly. We're getting there. He's got more confidence than he did in the first case. Because I think this is case 4. He's become a lot more confident. Present. Boom.
Objection!
Yeah, good for him. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
Wait, Sunshine, I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident. And details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
You found that in the accused's rooms, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Y-O-R-E, I presume?
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsumi did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Eh? What? Inspector, did you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that... Well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Well, if he's a literature student, it makes complete sense that he would go to a smaller bookshop to find more harder to find books. Because if it's a smaller place, that means they hold a lot more than the popular stuff. You can go to a place with a lot of more things going on there.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes? Whatever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Yes, it does. Depending on where the location is, it does change. I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here if that might be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. How did they made that mistake? I assume the books had a tag or something in that said they were bought? I don't know. It's apparently there's a receipt, so I don't know. I don't know how old-timey books were bought. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he most certainly would have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could be true.
My, it's rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Mersham Street, going east.
It's changing your opinion, yeah. Which means he could have gone left or right. So he could have completely not gone down Briar Street and just come through this way. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh.
My Lord Japanese friend is obviously intending to be a clown the way he regales us with the witticisms to your future career in the circus.
Yeah, oh.
You put that glass down now or I'll put it down for you.
Wow, Susato, you're watching my back. I'm just saying, it's still possible. Like, it would be a weirdly... I think it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, technically, it would be easier to just instead of going like this, because you still have to cross the street no matter what. Yeah, it'd be nice if Susato could suplex him. That would be nice. Anyway. Oh, that's not what I wanted. My point is that either going this way and going this way is not that big of a deal. In the sense of, you can't prove that he went this direction because he's at the corner. So anything could happen.
I, didn't think I needed to spell out, but here we go.
Golly, I'm getting gumshoe in here.
If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Going down seems like that long... I don't know, I think going down seems like the longer route? Maybe.
Thank you, Inspector.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe one is easier to go through than the other one. Ugh. We have no idea what it looks like, if how busy much traffic is.
Allow me to reiterate from my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend.
What the frick is with you and breaking stuff today?
Whatever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
And down it goes.
As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try.
What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now.
I beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but do you mind repeating that?
He's mad, he's salty. Yep, I guess so.
Mr. Naruto. We mustn't give up.
Alright, let me check something. We can use this, can we? For a minute, so... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was just seeing how much time, since if I'm going to do this digital circus reaction, we'll do it. I was just testing the time. Or, looking at the time. What do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
She's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forth by the prosecution very, very carefully.
Well, unless they have proof that he went one direction, they can't really say he went through Briar Road. They claim Suzeki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but there's an objection. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel?
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown who is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that road is what is commonly referred to as the long way around.
Yeah, but it's still possible.
On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home?
He's only lived there a week, though. I could believe that.
The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Which makes me... Here's the thing, and this may be weird, but as he said, they were surprised that he was at your books instead of Bourbon Books that was closer. Is it because he wandered around for the week that he has been here and he found the bookstore and doesn't know Bourbon Books exists? Yeah, he might not... It's been a week. He has only lived at the Grebe apartments for a week, so I could 100% believe him being lost in London, of all places. Golly. But, aha, yes, I've got it. Obviously, you must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home.
I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection.
Huh.
That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to have spent his time wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
Great. I don't believe this.
I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject.
If they could check that Natsume doesn't own a book for bourbon, then they would clear him, I think. You think? I don't know.
Hey, what say you insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, defense still... Excuse me?
I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. Well, wholeheartedly in every way.
What? I don't believe it. Does this mean...
We members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Of what? Oh, he went down the route. That obviously means he's guilty. What? That's silly.
Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury.
If Natsume doesn't own a book from bourbon, that means he might not even know bourbon is on the other corner of the other side of your books. Yeah, maybe that'll come up, because in the secondhand receipt it shows all the different books. So I guess we'll see what books are in the picture?
To present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Oh.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
He had the highest pitched voice I've ever heard, man. The freaking fifth one. That was wild.
It would appear the jury's lean is unanimous.
I haven't even gotten to talk much.
To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
I do not think they make quite sense either.
Mr. Naruto.
Are we gonna do the other thing again? No, not yet. Yeah, we haven't. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. I don't know how, but we're gonna figure it out.
Those are the eyes of quarry, not yet willed to give up and die.
Yeah, we have evidence that we still haven't used yet.
So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial?
Of course! Yeah, we haven't.
Rights of the defense, written into the antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a submission examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his Okus refuser to throw in his alley. Once again, how is this jury impartial if he was in the last trial and I accused him of possibly being a murderer? How is this impartial? He's gonna be mad at me.
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me? Judicial findings. Jury's contents.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese already admitted himself, didn't he?
If he said that woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it could only have been the victim.
The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the shop, not in the winter.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
Really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your books, yes. Nice shop, Pat. But Bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
Huh.
With only a minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sinking to the ground before his eyes.
Alright. Since it has been, I have 20 minutes before the end of the stream. So, do you guys want to see we can do a watch along to the 3rd episode of Digital Circus? Since it has been 40, point is, it's 20 minutes till the end of the stream. If you want to. Well, I'll just finish the promise. Because I know that I'll be asked again and again and again if I don't. So, and then after we do that, we can... You could do it on a ZZZ or Honkai Star Rail day. Huh. Well, I'll ask... So that's one. What about you, Paul? What do you think? Yes, I do. Okay. So that's a yes. Alright, let's... I guess, like I said, well, let me just set it up. Alright. I want to finish the examination. I guess we can... How about this? I finish the examination, and then we watch the episode. Does that sound good? Does that sound good to everybody? I guess becomes the question. I haven't logged out. We can finish the examination. Alright.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant has then fled the scene. I must say I would have had ample grounds to convince this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears to be convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Ugh, why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How could I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruto, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue.
Yes, I know, I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. And if it takes so long, golly. Well, 4 of them at last.
Exactly.
Well, even, like, the point is, we'll finish it, and I can go a little overtime. We can always take it on a ZZ day. Okay, then. Alright.
We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your cementation examination.
Yes, my lord. Oh, we're in the game now. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryanosuke, you can do it. Jury examination. Defense's rebuttal. Yeah, on the CCC tape would be great. Oh my gosh. Do we even... Is that this week? I'm completely like... I don't remember my own schedule. I always have to check it. Oh, so tomorrow. So do we want to wait till tomorrow? Honkai Star Rail works as well. Well, Zenless Zone Zero is tomorrow. But that's why I'm asking. I guess we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Let's just finish this thing and we'll see what we can... I can wait. Golly, golly, golly. I can wait as well. Okay. Then it'll be tomorrow. I'll set it up as the first waiting room. How about I do it now? Before we finish this, I'm gonna do it. I'll deal with you in a sec. Alright, let me do... Alright, let's do this. I'll put the waiting room up right now. For tomorrow. So that I do not forget, and it'll be the first thing. Always manages to make them under the tug in every case. Yep. I'll do it right now. Let's do... I'll just make the thing right now. I'll make a thumbnail later, so it's just gonna be here. Alright. Kingler and what the frick? Why can't I remember how to spell Pomni? The amazing Pomni. Me? Of the amazing Chittle Circus. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I will say. We'll just put this as this. Sorry that I'm doing this right now, so I just have it done over with. Digital circus. Alright. But yeah, I'll make a thumbnail tomorrow and update it. That for that. Okay. I have now put a waiting room. That's all set for you guys. And then I'll do the other one later. So I'll put both of them up. Alright, now we can continue this. Alright, for pity's sake. The woman in green collapsed for his eyes wide open on the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from a bookshop. Yep, no problem. I'm going to take a guess that we're gonna pit you, for pity's sake, that little oddly already admitted himself. So the man couldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. I might be wrong.
Objection!
Hold it!
Okay. I was like, I'm not sure. Let's try that again. Alright, I gotta save closer. Golly. Alright, let's see what's going on. 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 Alright. Alright, let me save right here. I'm trying to think, what if these statements are against each other? So, he already admitted it. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She said that she collapsed, why it could have only been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind. Was she? How dreadful. Yes, I can tell you are a potato. So the poor woman was attacked from behind. Was she? How dreadful. How about these? What about the two women?
Objection!
Nope. Okay. Okay, maybe I have to be more clear. I have to put two different people's, statements and how they're contradictory against each other. Alright, let's just press.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but... aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started for sticking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Sorry?
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young Patter pegged as criminals.
Oh well, you know. Water under the bridge. Versus around the shops? Maybe. We'll see. I'm gonna just do closer... I'm just gonna press, see what pops up.
Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop.
If I could turn back the clock...
Well, anyway, I don't know about the Hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now.
Yeah, he just admitted to being biased. Yep.
And I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Huh. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history.
Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
He said that woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim.
Hold it!
Alright. You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Well, quite, that's precisely my point. Clearly, there's someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
But let's not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. That man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible?
Well, I really couldn't say. After all, you are...
What the frick is wrong with this woman? I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it.
I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious.
Oh my god.
No one could have possibly have committed this awful crime.
Yeah, she is very much a mess. Ugh.
If no one else can have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must submit.
Oh my, you are too kind, my lord.
That went well for her. Man wouldn't have gone around the house. Okay, blah blah blah.
Hold it!
I bet she believes in purity too. Probably. Who knows? But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken from your books.
Ah yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
But it seems to me that what counts whether the little fellow Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Yeah, thankfully. Thankfully, we're not dealing with some weird things. It's like, what? Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are cold and dark, so it's the way I see it. You'd want to get home as quickly as possible.
Well, yes. Why is all this true?
So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road.
I'm supposed to be convincing you here.
I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim when that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to the Calabash Road, why it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honestly, I would.
The reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one.
want to hear what you have to say.
Hold it!
Sorry, fold it, you say? Fold what?
No. What I said was, hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books that they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's what my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
Just before 5, you say, exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after that dreadful time I had.
Yeah, he's wearing green. What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
Yeah, he was the reason.
It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
I agree, it's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something.
We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruto, cunningly.
Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again, carefully. And if any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other.
Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other.
Alright, let me just save. If he said that woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it'd only have been the victim? Alright, so it's you. And you.
Objection!
The two statements clearly have a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
Whoa, what are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2? Well, juror number 6?
Why, whatever do you mean, sir?
Imagine a home heck appear not and such are the same as we have in the present day games. I'd be very terrified. That means she's freaking immortal. She'd be more scarier a vampire than Vin Zeeks.
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what does he remember seeing someone appear in front of him on the way? Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we're all well aware of all this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I guess that fits old bag. Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you've heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my! Oh goodness, you mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has somewhat similar build to the victim.
But you look at that.
My goodness me! Sorry.
Golly. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person whom Mr. Natsumi saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime on Briar Road, where the woman was stabbed, was not on his way home.
Oh my!
You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming around about there, we'd be boxed off hours ago.
Really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Yay! The crazy lady helped. There are 2 people here who simply shouldn't be on the... maybe 3. He needs... yeah.
I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it... well...
Yay! Thank you! Thank you, 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 thank you!
Oh.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. That was wonderful.
Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well.
Like... You know, Lou, that sentence sounds so bad. My gosh, I know what you meant. But golly, does that sound so horrible? Golly.
Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume.
One doesn't care and wants the whole thing over with. Yeah. Okay, guys. Great choice of jury. Yeah. This jury is freaking wild. No, I am so sorry. Yeah, that's why I got rid of it. I know what you meant. You're happy that she changed her stance on the case. But the wording is so bad. So I got rid of it. I know what you meant. You didn't mean it in that way. It's just, golly, does that look like,
Might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we gotta do. Van Zeeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. Okay.
Thank you, counsel, and with the cementation examination, please.
Yeah, golly. Yes, my lord. Alright, we'll continue.
Why could have been that old man in green that the defendant saw? I have to call not guilty, it's only right.
Oh, we have more? Okay, so I guess we'll go see what you guys have to say.
Hold it!
Psst.
Whatever's the matter, whatever is the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Miss Garib, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room?
The master's wife? Where'd you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand?
She's keeping up that charade? This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodgings in your master's house, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now.
And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort.
Huh?
Spending all his time in that dark, dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. That man never speaks and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building...
Okay, here's the thing. What the frick? You know that your tenant is in the same room with you, right?
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him?
Oh, boy.
He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. Okay, what do you have to say? I don't care. Okay.
Hold it!
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's.
Huh.
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. And if I don't work, I don't eat. And neither do the wife and kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap laborers to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Mership Street it was.
Yeah, what a coincidence. Ursham Street?
On the map, Mr. Naruto, there's only 3 named streets.
Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point of that? Can't we just get this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
Alright, so I was digging up. Okay. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the out of winter. Alright, I think this is where we put the 3rd juror and together. Funny how they keep writing these coincidences in a city with millions of people. Yep. What a coinky dink.
Objection!
These 2 statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel. Explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Eh? What? I was just trying to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3?
Oh, me, sir? What? What do you mean?
Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Coincidence. Coincidences is multiple coincidences. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Mership Street, making it impassable. So, this is even less. So, if you can't go on the street at all, he has to go the long way around. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Merchant Street and down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes?
I think I'm in, I don't think in all consciousness that I can say the man's guilty now.
My gosh, guys.
Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened.
Ta-dum!
Yay! What about you, sir?
Who? Me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say.
Yay! It's 4-2.
Well, the summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The A's 2, the no's 4, so the no's have it not guilty, they say, which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Oh boy, Mr. Vampire Man's king to complain. And there goes.
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks?
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Well, welcome back. We're almost done for the night, so what a time to come back.
Yeah?
Juror number 6 fell in the snow and is a possibility of what Mr. Natsume, our client, saw. And the route that is the easiest way to get back, quickest way back to Mr. Natsume's lodgings was all broken up. I'll be watching Digital Circus tomorrow. But, that the whole road was teared up, so he couldn't go that way in the first place.
What do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth.
Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claimed. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which had been excavated, sir?
That's right, took me the whole day and they paid me a measly turbance for it.
Now, my learned Japanese friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
I know that a football field is made out of a lot of yards, so that's all I know. Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. Yeah, I have more than half. I have 4 on my side out of the 6.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
You're telling me a man with 3 books in his hand is going to jump over frickin' broken concrete?
Eh? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
Eh? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time.
He could jump, but it doesn't mean he wants to, and the guy said everyone kept avoiding it. Yeah, but he's saying, oh, he could jump it. He also has 3 books in his hand, and allegedly has a knife in the other. Why would you jump over broken concrete? That seems stupid.
No coaches would have had any hope of passing anyway. And we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids jump right over us all the time.
Hughes is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could sprint over a 2-yard trench in his meandering around town.
What?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused are found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodging, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
To stab the woman in the back. Golly. Ugh, crushed in the single sentence.
And, older man...
Cold man, you can talk.
You say that at around 5 o'clock on the day in question you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there any suspicious-looking Nipponese friend behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say I remember. You're number 3. Oh my gosh, you're being funny. But he doesn't have blue hair, so no.
How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I wouldn't lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Great!
Order, order! Lord Van Seeks, explain yourself!
Alright, I think I'm gonna end here. My voice is dying. Holy moly! We've gotten a lot. We learned the secret of the Garibs. We've learned about more information about the layout. Yes, the prosecution's supposed to prove things. Tomorrow is Zenless Zone 0 / watching the Amazing Digital Circus tomorrow. That Amazing Digital Circus watch along will be at 8:35, and then afterwards we'll be starting Zenless Zone 0. So yeah, we'll have that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!